Hei, Kappi. Klar? Hva er det jeg skal si? Hello and welcome to the September subscription video tasting alone today. But I hope that is okay. We're going to taste the coffees we're going to send out for our subscribers this month. And I will do it alone, but nevertheless, I know a lot about this coffee because I've been to that farm many times. Should we just get started? I think, yes. We're going to send out 2 coffees from the same farm. So the farm is Los Pirineos in El Salvador, and the farmer's name is Gilberto Barahona. And Mr. Gilberto, we have to congratulate him because this year he came 2nd place in the El Salvadoran Cup of Excellence, which is a competition for coffee farmers where they send in coffee samples of their best coffees, and then a national jury will taste through them blindly, of course. They don't know which coffee is which, and select the best ones to go into a final round where international judges come and taste the coffees. And then the coffees are all scored, and the coffee with the highest score gets 1st place, and 2nd place, and so on. And Gilberto this year got 2nd place, which I think is the best spot he's gotten in this competition. I also think he's one of the most awarded farmers in the world. Every year he's in top 10 in the Cup of Excellence in El Salvador, normally with his Pacamara variety. But this year he won with his Bourbon variety from the very top of his farm, but unfortunately there was not that much coffee. So all of that went to, of that particular lot went to the Cup of Excellence, except 1 bag that we got our hands on. But 1 bag is not enough to send out to all our subscribers. So we're sending out our 2nd best Bourbon that we bought from him, which is also really tasty coffee, also from the top of his farm, which is actually a volcano in El Salvador, Tecapa volcano. So Gilberto, he inherited his farm from his parents, and of course during the war in El Salvador in the 80s, the farm was taken away from them by the guerrilla, and the farm was given back to them once the war was ended. So Gilberto has his heart in coffee. He's been a businessman for many years, but now his business is only coffee, and he's invested a lot in his farm, buying more land from his neighbors, investing in a wet mill where he processes his coffees really well. He's invested in a dry mill where he can treat and pack the coffee for export and sort out defects, sort on size, all these kind of things. He has invested in planting a lot of new varieties. Most of them we are not able to buy yet, but maybe next year we'll get some new ones. But he's also invested a lot to keep his old Bourbon plants and also plant new Pacamara plants, which in his farm at least taste really good. And these are the 2 varieties we are going to taste today. First of all, Bourbon is going out to all our subscribers. So if you subscribe to 1, 2, or 3 bags, you'll get Don Gilberto's Bourbon, famous Bourbon coffee. Let's taste it. Smells very chocolatey, like always from this farm. Very sweet coffee, low acidity, super sweet, chocolatey flavors, a little bit of this kind of dried raisins in the background, but just really sweet coffee. Maybe some hints of nuts as well. So imagine you're eating this kind of chocolate bar that has a little bit of nuts and dried fruit in it. It's kind of what this coffee tastes like. And to me, this El Salvadoran coffee is kind of our Brazilian coffee. We buy this because not all of our guests and customers love the high acidity, fruity coffees, at least not all the time. And we just sent out 2 months in a row, Kenyan coffee and Ethiopian coffee, and also then the Caballero coffees, which is slightly higher in acidity. So now it's getting colder outside. We want maybe something sweeter and more comforting. So El Salvadoran coffee for me is one of those coffees that are not so high in acidity, but has this really rich chocolatey sweetness. This is actually the reason why I started buying coffees from Gilberto. I actually bought his coffee the first time through the Cup of Excellence. I think it was in 2009. I really liked his coffee. Back then he came like 30th place, so he didn't do that well, but I still really liked the coffee, and I decided to buy it. And then the following year I went to visit him, and you know, he was a great guy. He wanted to learn. He taught me a lot, and we kind of enjoyed each other's company, I guess. So I kind of wanted to develop a relationship with him and buy his coffee year after year. And we have been buying it ever since. And I have to say that the quality has been going up each and every year. And especially this year, the qualities were really, really good. I don't know exactly why. Probably there was good rains, you know, good drying season during the harvest and so on. But also he has been investing a lot in farm inputs and replanting and pruning and so on. So I think, you know, just all the hard work that he has been doing for the last 10 years has been paying off and is going to pay off also in the future. So first coffee, Bourbon from Los Pirineos in El Salvador. Second coffee, same farm, different variety. And different process. So the first one is, the Bourbon is washed with a mechanical demucilage remover. So it means it's not fermented at all, it's just washed with this mechanical machine and then dried on raised beds under shade nets. The second one is a honey process where it uses the same machine, but it doesn't remove all the mucilage. So some of the mucilage is still stuck on the beans, and then it's dried on the raised beds on the shade with the mucilage on. And this is called honey process, or pulp natural in Brazil, but honey process sounds much more sexy. And this creates normally a slightly more fruity, kind of a fermenty flavor, but he's done it really carefully with this lot, and it doesn't have a lot of that kind of ferment fruit, but it is slightly more fruity than the Bourbon for sure. Also his Pacamaros for me are really, really good. They don't have this kind of oniony flavor that Pacamaros can have. Has a little bit of this kind of candied orange flavor, maybe some red apple acidity. It's just a big, fruity, nice, sweet coffee. And remember, both of these are very chocolatey, so it's not like high acidity or anything. It's like very comforting, slightly fruity, very chocolatey, very sweet, rich, long aftertaste, and so on. So these are the two main coffees we're going to send out this month, and thank you Gilberto for producing them, and congratulations again for becoming second place in the Cup of Excellence. I'm pretty sure that Gilberto will be able to win the Cup of Excellence in the coming years, because he has some fantastic geisha that is soon to be harvested. He has some Laurina, he has some Sudan Rumé, some SL28 coming, and most likely those coffees will be very expensive because I've tasted some of them already. Very, very good stuff. So let's hope that we will get some of that next year. The third coffee we're not going to taste together today, but it's a Kenyan coffee, just in case you're missing some fruity stuff. We are actually getting a coffee from a new group of farmers that is not a cooperative. It's a group of farmers that have joined together and created a company together. And it's called We Are New, in one word. And I went visiting them in 2018 in December, and they have one of the most beautiful wet mills that I've ever seen in Kenya, and I really want to support them. So that coffee is going to be quite fruity, like you will expect from a Kenya, and that's going out to all of our 3-bag subscribers this month. So I really hope you like the coffees. I know I'm going to drink a lot of this during September, and hope to see you next time.